Old Natty here. Going to talk about bench squats, or I guess the resurgence of bench squats. Uh, the first I ever knew of them, and we really didn't call them bench squats, but I guess it was the same thing. And I don't know if this came from the original West Side Barbell or if they were around before West Side Barbell, original West Side Barbell, not Louis Simmons Barbell. And then Westside started using them as a method to work through the sticking point. But it's very common way back in the day when I first started working out. If you were lucky enough to have a bench, you just had one of those old school flat benches, didn't incline or anything, skinny, narrow. The bar, the weight would be up in the uprights, and you'd sit facing the uprights and get as close as you can. Grab like this sitting, duck your head under, kind of lift up and get the bar off of the uprights and onto your shoulders. Then from there, you would stand up. We just called that squats our way to do squats. We really didn't call it bench squats. We used the bench as a marker for depth. And basically, to even have a bench was a big deal back then when I was a kid. You know, you'd start out with a barbell set, and then it'd be, I don't know, another year, some holiday, or when you saved up the money to maybe get a bench. Very few people had benches. So to have squat stands was almost unheard of. It's just the way it was, at least in my neighborhood. So that was a common exercise. It was actually in a book I had. It was on a flyer that came with my starter weight set, and it was just a way to use the uprights of the bench as your squat stand uprights. But what I really want to get into is the safety of bench squats, because a little bit past, I don't know, at some point the recommendation started being you shouldn't do bench squats because you have a very heavy weight on your shoulders and you're coming down and hopefully just barely touching. But what I see nowadays, people sitting on the bench. Well, if you have a solid surface that you're sitting on that doesn't give, and you got a heavy weight across your shoulders, the spine is in the middle. So the main point here was I don't recommend doing bench squats. And that's the reason why. Your spine is being compressed. Boom. If you want to work a particular range of motion or through the sticking point, use a power rack with a mirror in front big enough that you can see the full picture of what's going on. Put bungee cords where the pins would go in the power rack at the depth you want to work to, and then put your pins right below that so you still have them there for safety purposes. And then you can watch and squat freely down to whatever level you want. You want to use bungee cords instead of the pins because with a really heavy weight, if you're not careful, you don't hit the pins slow enough or don't hit them equally, it's real easy to jar that bar and start causing you to tip and throw you out of your groove. So that way your butt has no surface that stops it, and the spine is maintained in a much safer position. Old Natty, I'm out.